money, and now I gotta go. I'm crying, baby. Honey, don't you want to go back to that land of California, to my sweet home, Chicago? Alright, that was Sweet Home Chicago by Robert Johnson. I'm Delta Lou, and today we're going to be discussing this song in great detail. So it's good to be making another video. I know it's been a long hiatus, but for all of my subscribers, thank you for following me through the years. Thank you for liking me on Facebook. If you've stumbled upon my website, my name is Delta Lou, and I'm on a mission in preserving this great indigenous American roots blues music for generations to come. So if you want to check out my mission, my aim is to transcribe as many songs as possible from this genre of music. You can check out my website at www.deltalumusic.com. It's available in the information settings. So today we're going to be talking about Robert Johnson. I am back at work creating the second volume of Robert Johnson's works. I have one out there already, the volume 1. Check out my videos. I go into great discussion, great detail in lessons there. So I'm working on volume 2. It's going to be another set of 10 songs. This month I have a tab of the month, which is going to be Sweet Home Chicago by Robert Johnson. Okay, so enough babbling on. Let's get to it. Let's start the lesson. What I need you to do, this version of Sweet Home Chicago, taken from the original recording, is going to be tuned in standard tuning, except that Robert Johnson is playing a half step up. He is, instead of an E standard, he's an F tuning. So we'll need to tune our guitars together. I have the tablature and the ebook with this song, which you can move along with. It has easy to understand tablature. Every portion of the song is broken down in great detail. Very easy to understand, easy to read, comes with complete lyrics. Please check out my website. There's a tab of the month page. That's where the PDF file is available for free for download. Definitely download it when you play along with this lesson. So moving on to the lesson, I got a new guitar. I'm switching from Martin to Taylor. I really recommend Taylor guitars because they're very versatile across all genres, and I love the easiness of the neck. There's not much tension, and there's a bit more fluidity here. So for the purpose of this lesson in Robert Johnson's Sweet Home Chicago, all you need is an acoustic guitar. If you have a nylon string guitar, that's fine. Any guitar really, preferably acoustic for this lesson. I also advocate for using plastic finger picks. I'm a finger picker guy. I like plastic picks because they're easier on the guitar. If you have metal picks, they are going to scuff up your guitar and you're not playing really a banjo. So you don't need to have finger picks, but I highly recommend it. I have a thumb, index, and middle finger picks. And through my previous videos, I always talk about this motion of finger picking on the right hand, where the thumb is resting. The outer lining of the thumb is dampening over the 6th string. Your thumb is free on the 6th and 5th strings to strike, and your index and middle fingers will be playing the bottom 3 strings, the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd strings, and you'll pinch together. This is how I teach the finger picking methods. If you haven't already, check out my beginning finger picking styles lessons 1 through 4 in previous videos on this site, and I also have the free tablature on my website to learn from those. That's a prerequisite from learning any of my material. So now that we've got the finger picks situated, we got the acoustic guitar, we got to tune our guitars together to be in pitch. Now I like to be in pitch exactly with Robert Johnson. I'm not using a capo in this instance. But if you don't want to tune your strings, you can be in E standard and put a capo on the first fret, and we will be in pitch together. So the top string without a capo will have to be an F. We're going from an E to an F. So I'm going to play the top string, and you match your pitch to me. This is an F. Going from an E to an F. My fifth string is going to be an A sharp. A sharp. My fourth string is going to be a D sharp. My third string is going to be a G sharp. My second string is going to be a C. You're going from a B to a C. My second string. And then finally, my bottom string is going to be an F. So let's go ahead and play an E chord. Sweet Home Chicago is played utilizing the key of E concepts. Though we are not pitched at E, we're still playing ideas coming out of the key of E. So key of E shapes, 1-4-5 chord progression. E, A, and then B7, F sharp. We'll be talking about that special chord in this song. So the song is in E, and it incorporates the first elements of one of the earliest songs to incorporate the boogie woogie rhythm. Definitely a staple of rock and roll and Western music. So to begin, let's take a short break and we'll go over the introduction followed by the boogie rhythms. Okay, so the introduction is very typical of a Robert Johnson intro, meaning he's playing like this chromatic rundown, holding an elongated E chord. And if you've seen my other videos, I talk about this in Hot Tamales and then extensively in Drunken Hearted Man. It's this special intro, also in the stuff in A, like Kind Hearted Woman, Me and the Devil Blues. It's this run on the elongated chord. And we'll talk about that. So this is an instance where you will have your pinky situated on the bottom string, and the pinky is going to remain stationary throughout this run. It's always going to be playing the bottom string 12th fret. Now you can then play a series of several kind of double stop chords. It's just basically a chromatic rundown on this elongated chord. Starting from the 12th fret, you're going to have the bottom string always fingered on the 12th fret, and then with either your ring finger or your middle finger, you're going to finger the 4th string 12th fret. And you're going to make this pinching motion with the right hand. Notice my index finger is plucking the bottom string and my thumb is playing the 4th string. You're going to play that simultaneously. Again, bottom string 12th fret and then 4th string 12th fret. He plays that about 3 times for that first set of notes. Then he just goes up the neckboard chromatically to the 11th fret, maintaining the same structure. Then up to the 10th fret, plays a little in there, ending on a 9th fret, which he plays once. So if you have the tablature available to you, you can see that the first instance here on the 12th fret, he plays this about 3 times, and this is all done pretty fast. 1, 2, 3, then he goes to the 11th fret and he plays that about, 4 to 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then to the 10th fret. Now I have my index finger you can move the middle finger or just have your index finger play that 4th string, 10th fret. He plays that about 4 times before resolving to the 9th fret, 4th string. So together it's, he plays that a little bit fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's just that rundown. And see the motion on the right hand. And after he plays that note, he plays the 3rd string open briefly. Plays the open string briefly, and then he plays this special chord, and it's listed out on the tablature. The chording here is a B7/F sharp, and he's not playing like a typical B7 chord here. He's just playing a kind of fragmented styling of the B7 chord, which is incorporating, in this time, a B7 chord usually will not have the top string on the 2nd fret, that F sharp note. That's not, usually doesn't feature out of a B7 chord. So that's why this chord is a B7/F sharp. And what that's going to look like is essentially you're going to play like an E chord, but a string up. So your index finger is going to find the 4th string, 1st fret. Your middle finger is going to play the top string on the 2nd fret. And then your ring finger is going to play the 5th string on the 2nd fret. And then when you play that chord together, he's just playing the top 3 strings. And this is a chord that's going to feature over and over in the song. So the introduction will sound like this. And he plays about 6 to 7 strums. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 can be played loosely. So I'll go a little bit slower on the introduction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so that's the introduction, and while he's in this B7/F sharp chord, he starts to sing the opening of that lyric. Oh, oh. So you see where that kicks off. So I'm going to talk about the boogie woogie rhythm, which appears like this. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about here next. So after this B chord, it goes into this rhythm. And this is how I play it. I like to maintain on the right hand this pinching motion. So I've got my index finger coming up. You're going to find the top 2 strings to play this measure in the 1 chord, which is going to be an E chord backing. You're in the 1 chord right now. And this is the part of the boogie woogie rhythm that sounds like this. Oh! I like to pinch the strings together. And to have that chording, what you're going to do is you're going to find the index finger and you're going to play the 2nd string, the 5th string on the 2nd fret. And then you're going to play the top string open. You're going to play that together. So there's tops 2 strings. And then you can either go, the next note on that is going to be the 4th fret 5th string. And you can play that with the pinky while this is stationary. Or you can just move your index finger whatever you feel comfortable. It's better to keep this finger stationary while you play it. Now you can play with downstrokes, playing the two notes simultaneously, or pinch together. I like to pinch together because it's incorporating a percussive element into this song. But in this rhythm, he's just going back and forth from the 2nd to the 4th fret, playing those top 2 strings. And so that measure goes, oh, oh. So it's like 2 of each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then when he goes into this part, baby, don't you want to go? Baby, don't you want to go? Oh, baby, don't you want to go? And what he's doing here differently is he's playing, this time when he goes into the portion where he goes, baby, don't you want to go? You're in the 4 chord now. So you're playing under an A chord, A natural backing accompaniment there. So you're in the 4 chord arrangement, and he's playing this time slotting down to the 4th and 5th strings, and you're playing the 5th string open and then the 2nd fret 4th string. So 1, 2. Then you slot over to the 4th fret and maintaining that same position. With the right hand, I'm pinching. You play 2 notes there, and then you even go further to the 5th fret. This is what makes it different from the 1 chord arrangement. You're in the 5th fret, and you play that twice. So it's 2 notes of each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're just going from the 2nd, 4th, 5th, 4th to the 2nd fret. Baby, don't you want to go? And then he comes back up to the 1 chord, the E backing, which is the top 2 strings. Baby, don't you want to go? And he's just playing that boogie rhythm. The 1 chord in E is only the 2nd and 4th frets, and then on the 4 chord under the A accompaniment, you're going to be playing the 2nd, 4th, 5th, and 4th fret. Then back to the E. Okay, so the boogie woogie rhythm is very easy to understand, but also in the original recording, Robert Johnson, as he's playing in this 1 chord in E, he does a special kind of lick on the E chord, which will sound like this. Let me try that again. Yeah. Okay, so he's playing in this boogie rhythm, and he does a lick on E, and it's available to you on the tablature. It's pretty easy how it's laid out. But in this rhythm, he slots in this lick on the E chord. Okay, and it's very distinguishable when you hear it in the original recording. So what he's doing there is, as he's playing in this rhythm, he's going to end on the 4th fret, the top 2 strings, right? You're playing this rhythm, you end on the 4th fret, and you're going to play a series of 5 notes. So you're going to hold maintain an E chord, and then your index finger is going to come off of there, and you're going to play a motion with your right hand where you're going to play the top string open, and then with your index finger you're going to play just the third string open, and you're going to play that 3 times. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you play, while you're holding an E here, you're with the right hand, you're isolating a combination of 4 notes. The first 2 notes will be open, the top string open with your thumb, and your index finger is going to be playing the third string open. Okay, you play that twice. 1, 2, and then the next 2 notes are a lick on the third string, 1st fret. So that's going to be open, and then you're going to pull off, you're going to do a hammer on the 1st fret, 3rd string. 1, 2. So it's 2 notes in one. 1, 2. 1, 2. So the 4 notes here are 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. And after he plays that, he resolves on the bottom string open. So you're holding an E, but you're playing with the right hand those individual notes. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and he sneaks that into the rhythm. And after he plays this, he goes back to the 4th fret, the top 2 strings, the 4th fret, 5th string, and then the top string open. And then he gets back into that rhythm. So where that lick appears will appear like this. So you're playing this rhythm. So notice when I'm playing this rhythm, I start, I'm on the 4th fret, I play the lick, and then I go back to the 4th fret. So that's going to be the tricky part, is playing this lick and then going back to the 4th fret, into the picking up into the rhythm. So you need to be in timing. Okay, so that's that lick. Okay, so we're going to take a little break, and then we're going to go over the main lick over the 5-chord, which is very important in the song. Okay, so earlier we talked about this E lick. And then he goes back into the A. Baby, don't you want to go? Lick. Oh, honey, don't you want to go? So have a little bit of practice of that. I don't feel like I should go too slow in that. The boogie woogie rhythm is pretty easy to go. And just, listen to the voicings, the way Robert Johnson sings it, to get your timing right. But as he continues in this rhythm, he gets back in E, back back to that land of California, to my sweet home, Chicago. And that's what we're going to talk about here. So when he's in this, before he leads into this B7 F sharp chord, he's still in this E boogie rhythm. Baby, don't you want to go back to that? So while you're gonna go transition into this B7 F sharp chord, you have to still sing the part back to that. When he says the word land, you're already in that B7 F sharp chord. So in this E rhythm, it's back to that land of California. Back to that land of California. So he's in that B7 F sharp chord, and he plays that with about, I don't know, 7 to 8 strums. He's playing that chord loosely. Okay, so he plays that chord rather loosely. Back to that land of California. I'm just doing down strums, up and down strums. Back to that land of California. And then this portion where he goes, to my sweet home. Exactly in that lyric, to my sweet home. What he's doing there is he's going down, he's playing a typical lick in E, if you haven't seen it already, is you're going to find your index finger, you're going to go to the 7th fret bottom string, then you're going to take your middle finger and you're going to go to the 2nd string 8th fret. Okay? And you're going to bend the strings up and down, and you're going to pinch with the right hand. The thumb is going to take on the 2nd string, the index finger is going to take on the 1st string, and you're going to pinch together. To my sweet home. He plays that about 5 times. To my sweet home. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To my sweet home. Then in this next series, there's going to be 4 notes that will sound like this. And that's where he sings Chicago, Chicago, Chicago. So there's 4 notes here. The first note on that singing is going to be the bottom string open. Then you're going to do a hammer on, starting on the 2nd string open. Then the 2nd fret 2nd string, back to the 1st string open. So in all it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chicago. So that sequence, to my sweet home, Chicago. Then he resolves on the top string open. To my sweet home, Chicago. So from that beginning of that in the B7 F sharp chord, the land of California, to my sweet home, Chicago. Then he lets that top string ring, and then he does a typical turnaround in E. And that's what we're going to talk about here. So that typical turnaround here is you're going to find the, with your middle finger, you're going to find the 4th fret, 3rd string. And then you're going to find with your index finger the 3rd fret, 2nd string. And then you're going to play the bottom string open. And it's going to be like an arpeggio going down. So it will be 3 notes here. 1, 2, 3. You're chording that, and you're playing from the third string to the second string to the bottom string open. 1, 2, 3. Then you're switching over to the second and third string, maintaining the same fingering, and then playing again the same sequence. The third, second to the first string. Third, second, first string. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then what he does here at the end is he slots over, playing the same chording. You're going to be now on the first fret with the index finger on the first fret, second string. Your middle finger is going to be on the third string, second fret. And you're just going to play an upright chord instead of the arpeggio. You just play a chord here, this minor chord, and it's going to be a little lick in itself here. So you play the chord, then while you're fingering that, you're going to take your ring finger and you're going to play a lick on the bottom string, second fret, followed by open on the bottom string. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So there's 9 notes in all. Starting back to the third and fourth frets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can either do a pull off or play the physical note. And after he plays that, he goes back into the B7 F sharp chord. So it's okay, so that arrangement in the 5-chord, starting from the beginning, from that boogie rhythm, back to that land of California, to my sweet old Chicago. Okay, and it's back to the land of California, to my sweet old Chicago. Alright, and that's the 5-chord arrangement, probably the most difficult portion of the song, yet relatively easy, and he's recycling a lot of ideas that are typical in E blues. Licks on the 7th and 8th fret, and this turnaround. Okay, that appears in a lot of contemporary blues music. So after he plays that, there is a portion of the song where he's sitting on this E boogie rhythm on the 6th and 5th strings. And then there's the part in the song where he goes, now 1 and 1 is 2, 2 and 2 is 4. I'm heavy loaded, baby. I'm booked. I gotta go. I'm crying, baby. Honey, don't you want to go? Notice that he sits. He's kind of telling his story. Now 1 and 1 is 2. 2 and 2 is 4. I'm booked. I'm heavy loaded. I'm booked. I gotta go. He sits in a few measures in that. So definitely pay attention in the original recording. Then he goes back to that. Honey, don't you want to go? Back to the land of California, to my sweet old Chicago. Oh, honey, don't you want to go? All right, and then he just repeats the ideas in the song over and over throughout. And if you have the tablature, the ebook for this is available on my Tabs of the Month page. Free download. Download it and print it off and have it with you. It also has the full lyrics for if you want to study on your own. Definitely check that out. So the outro is what he's doing in the outroduction. I'm going to play that real quick. Is he's encompassing elements that we talked about in the introduction. Except that he kind of shortens it up a little bit. He's not really playing out. He plays a few strokes on the 12th fret. Yeah, it's the 12th fret, then he plays a little bit on the 11th fret before going into this lick. And what he's doing there is he's going to the 10th fret, he's playing the 5th string, 10th fret, twice. Then he's going to play this arpeggio on the bar over the entire 9th fret, starting from the 4th string down. 4th string, 3rd string, 2nd string on the 9th fret bar, and then ending on the 10th fret bottom string, playing that E7. And that's the ending of the song. Okay, so that essentially caps off the end of the song. So you're encompassing a lot of boogie woogie rhythms. You have licks in E, and then a great B7 F sharp chord, which he tends to play in quite a bit of his repertoire. He loves that F sharp note at the top there. So, I think I've explained it the best way that I could. It's a very easy song. It's probably one of his easiest songs. But definitely download the free tab off of my website. The link is in the information settings. If you want to learn more about my mission, subscribe to me on YouTube. I try to roll out with as many lessons as time allows. I'm a busy guy. But when I do have available time, I want to create music video or video lessons and download, make ebooks and all of that. I think it's important to preserve this music. And so thank you very much for following me. I really appreciate all your comments, constructive criticism. For my more advanced people, definitely just go straight to the tablature if you don't want to hear me babble on. So, my name is Delta Lou, and again, it's been a pleasure teaching this special kind of music. Take care.